Folks, this is probably my first video on YouTube and my first content. Problem is 206 reverse linked list. Given a linked list, we have to reverse it, and this is the function, and we can expect a object like this. There would be a list node class which would have a variable value and another variable next which will point to a list node itself. Another things are okay, these are all constructors. Okay, so how can we solve this problem? So if I go with the very simple approach, what I can do is I can get hold of all of these nodes and can then put those nodes into copy those nodes into some vector or any list, and from we can iterate from the end of the list to start of the list. Okay, so I am defining a vector of a list node. Vector is equal to new vector. What else? So from here I will try to add values of a head. When I say head, let me just say node, because I say it's all node. And then here comes the iteration part, till what point we have to iterate it. So okay, let's make a list node pointer head which points to node first, and we have our normal pointer to iterate, and we should move till pointer is not null. Sorry, so this is our condition. So while pointer is not null, we have to fill our vector with pointer, and after adding it, we have to move our pointer to next, and then I can be sure my vector would be filled up. So what next? Next would be creating a new what do we say, new list that we have to return out. So we already have a head pointer, so we will use this head pointer now, and it okay, let's take a size of vector first. Vector dot size. What else? I should keep on iterating this vector, and vector indexing starts from 0. So when you do vector dot 0, it will return you the first element, and let's say your vector only contains one element, so when you call vector dot size, it will return you a size. Okay, and so for our indexing purposes, what should we do? So it should be less than 1, and size should be greater than equal to 0 always. And now we got size, so let's say let's call it index, because it's not size anymore. And now we have our index from a very end of our vector. So what we can do is we will try to get the head first. Pointer head equals vector dot get index. So it will return me the last value. That sounds nice. And what should I do from here? Pointer head. It's not a C++, so I have to do it like this. Pointer head dot next equals. I would say we better do it this way. So actually I'm not using this thing now, so let's make it null for now, and we start using this thing from here. In the worst case, if we don't have any values in our linked list, so we'll return this null array, null pointer. And when there is something in there, I will try to get it out. I have a pointer dot head, and I will say pointer dot head dot next equals let's initialize it at least. So if vector dot size is greater than 0, so at least it has some element. So vector dot get vector dot size -1. Or should I say, if this index is greater than or equal to 0, then vector dot get the index should be my head, and now I have to link nodes. So I have already processed my nodes, so better do index minus minus, and now from here we have to start off. So this next guy should be my value over here. That sounds nice. And from now on I have to update my pointer head. And in the end, my pointer head can be, let's see, next to get, okay, always try to check your code, before running. So okay, this would work, this would copy the things, this will initialize our head pointer, we get the index, if there is some element we get the last index here, then we are filling out the elements, and what am I doing? I am moving my pointer upward. Okay, and this won't work now. I have to decrement my index. So in the end there can be possibility if my pointer head is null. So I will only do this if my pointer head is not null, and if I have some value in here and it's not a null, so in the end I would know that I would be pointing to the last variable, so better make that next equal null. And this is my pointer head, and actually I should create a new, or I can use this pointer value. The same thing goes in here for better readability, and let's play with this pointer. Let's run it. Can't find symbol. Why? Cause I didn't import it the library java.util.vector. Better call it star. FPTR is not equal null. Let's try to submit it. Oh, so what we have done is we have used a vector to store all the nodes. And let's talk about the time. It says it's 100% faster than other submissions. Let's try to see what we did. So we had our nodes and we store them all in a vector array. Then we use this element and then we make this as a head, and then we pick this element like this and this, and in the end we make the next to the last thing to be null. And we return this pointer variable. So it was our answer. And if you see the time complexity, we run this loop for only to the size of our linked list. So it would be time complexity should be big of n, and we talk about space complexity as we use spaces for each node. So space complexity would also be O of n. This is one approach. Another approach could be using recursion. But in the recursion, as we know, it internally uses stack. And when we say stack, so what you would be doing is maybe you would be passing out you would be passing out the recursion part to the end time. So I think that would also take a space of on. So better do this with this intuitive approach, which is easy to observe and visualize. Okay.